Welcome everyone to today's workbook discussion on Zoom. Welcome also to all who join us later by watching or listening to this recording. I'm Laura Fenimore, the Chief Development Officer and Volunteer Coordinator with the Foundation for Inner Peace, the scribe authorized publisher of A Course in Miracles. We really appreciate your partnership with the Foundation. And if you want to learn more about the Foundation or A Course in Miracles, please visit ACIM.org. If you feel inspired to make a love offering, please visit ACIM.org, and at the top of the page, you will find the word donate. All donations support the work of the Foundation. Each session will be delving into a discussion of the workbook lessons in A Course in Miracles led by a moderator team of volunteers that work with the Foundation. What does discussion mean? In our gatherings here, we welcome the Holy Spirit to join us. Through this presence, our meeting becomes a joining of equals to commune with the Holy Spirit's guidance to experience miracles together. Some of the moderators here also support our social media channels, and if you'd like a list of FIP resources, please email support@acim.org, and we'll be happy to share the resource list with you. Now let's begin our discussion. Welcome everyone.
Good afternoon. I'm Stephanie Schleider, and thank you for joining us today. And that includes the people who may be watching at a later time. So we'll start with our guidelines. In order to keep our space safe and loving, we ask that we share in kindness and stay course-centered, because that's why we're here, and be respectful. Invite also, of course, the Holy Spirit. So the session will be recorded and posted on Facebook, YouTube, and other social media. So we'll begin. So let's start with some relaxation. And if you feel comfortable, gently close your eyes. If you don't want to, you don't have to. And let's begin with a few slow and deep breaths. As you breathe in, I invite you to welcome in the Holy Spirit. And as you breathe out, I invite you to let go of any concerns or worries you may have been feeling. You can relax your forehead, soften your jaw, and now just continue to observe your breath flowing in and flowing out without trying to control it. As you continue to breathe calmly, I will read the prayer I've chosen for today from Lesson 275. God's healing voice protects all things today. Your healing voice protects all things today, and so I leave all things to you. I need be anxious over nothing, for your voice will tell me what to do and where to go, to whom to speak and what to say to him, what thoughts to think, what words to give the world. The safety that I bring is given me, Father. Your voice protects all things through me. So I invite you to come back slowly. And we're on lesson 132, and I know that it's already been started, the discussion, so I'm going to do it a little differently today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the first sentence or two of the first 8 paragraphs, and then I'm going to go back paragraph by paragraph and ask a question or two. So we'll see how that goes. And if anybody has anything else they want to say, just raise your hand. So lesson 132, I loose the world from all the things I'm sorry, I'm gonna start again. I loose the world from all I thought it was. Paragraph 1. What keeps the world in chains but your beliefs? Paragraph 2. Yet is salvation easily achieved, for anyone is free to change his mind, and all his thoughts change with it. Paragraph 3. The present now remains the only time. Here in the present is the world set free. Paragraph 4. The world itself, the world is nothing in itself. Paragraph 5. There is no world apart from what you wish, and herein lies your ultimate release. Paragraph 6. But it is pride that argues you have come into a world quite separate from yourself, impervious to what you think, and quite apart from what you chance to think it is. Paragraph 7. But healing is the gift of those who are prepared to learn there is no world and can accept the lesson now. Paragraph 8. And some will find it in this course and in the exercises that we do today. So we'll go back to paragraph 1. Give me a moment, please. Okay. So paragraph 1, what keeps the world in chains but your beliefs? And my question is, what is one new belief or a belief you would like to affirm for the new year? So I'm not sure, I wouldn't be able to see people's hands raised. And I'm going to start. I wrote something. I'm going to share it so you have a chance to think about your answer. So what I'm doing is I'm affirming my innocence and the innocence of all people. This is one of the course concepts I've had the most difficult time with, but in the past 2 months, I feel I've had a breakthrough. So I realize now I always did the best I could based on the beliefs that I held. And I made a lot of mistakes, but they were just mistakes. And I'm really starting to get, I could just forgive them. I could just forgive myself. So I used to believe I was supposed to suffer when I made a mistake or when I thought somebody else thought I made a mistake. And I'm really starting to shift that. So I'm grateful for that. So, Sora, you'd like to comment?
Yeah, because beliefs are illusory. The course makes qu- uh, puts forth, can't think of the word. There's a difference between beliefs and knowledge, and beliefs are subject to change. They go in and out, but knowledge is the certainty of God, and that's what I still aspire to, like, whatever is going on, or I believe this is whatever I believe, to question every belief, and that's what, to and then to suspend it to get to the state of knowledge and know that, the only reality is I'm one with God. And so that's my aspiration for the new year. I'm one with God and let everything else go.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say, Sora, is your experiences, you don't even want to deal with beliefs. You just want to
Mhm.
let them go go straight to God and anchor that. And so you're looking for knowledge, true knowledge. Or
Yeah, knowledge, and the course makes like I'm doing this 45 years, like I think there are times I know the difference, but I still get caught up in, my belief system and the world's belief system, and that's all illusory. So
so
knowledge is I know, it's certainty. It's like I am, what's one of the lessons? Well, it says here, in the next page, it says there is no world. You're coming here to correct your beliefs and to cultivate knowledge. And now, knowledge is I know God. That's knowledge. Period. It's like that lesson that says, you say God is and cease to speak. That's lesson 169, I think. You say God is and you cease to speak because that's all there is. God is. That's it. And everything else is commentary.
So thank you for commenting. And I'm going to adjust the question slightly to what concept have you learned in the course that you would like to affirm for yourself? Because it's a new year. I was figuring that's a good time. It's in the field of like clarity and purpose. So that's my perception. And everybody could have their own perception about this, which everybody will anyway. Sharon?
Yeah. I want to affirm what I affirm every morning, and that is that I carry the peace of God around with me constantly, and that I see the face of Christ in all my brothers. I'm better at carrying the peace of God around with me than remembering to think of the Christ but I know that I love strangers and I smile at them. So maybe even if I'm not, specifically thinking that at the moment, I want to see all my brothers as Christ and I want to see myself as Christ. So that's what I'm wanting to affirm for this coming new year.
So, Sharon, this is what came to me. You could disagree with me if I'm wrong. Offended. But what came to me was the way you want to show and experience love is through affirming your own peace and sharing that with other people. And goodness knows we would love you. We love you for it.
Thanks.
I do. Is there anybody else that would like to comment on this or on this paragraph? If you would like to comment on this paragraph.
I have a
So
comment.
I'm going to call on you in a second, Andrew. I don't know if everybody saw Sora's note in the chat. So I will read it to you. She said, affirming peace is knowledge. All right, thank you, Sora. And Andrew?
Yeah, just what I found that I'm only beginning to really practice is forgiving myself. I've forgiven others a long time ago. I haven't had any grievances that I could call to mind for a long time. But I get angry with myself very easily when I make a mistake, or at least I used to. And I'm finding it helpful to just forgive myself immediately when I make a mistake or find something I did wrong or anything like that. It, that's what I'm doing lately, and it helps.
So, Andrew, I really relate to what you're saying. And the thing I'm learning now about forgiving myself as quickly as I can is it's really good for the people in my life when I forgive myself as quickly as I can, because we have an effect on other people, of course. So thank you for commenting. Anyone else want to comment on this? So paragraph 2, we'll go to paragraph 2. And the sentence is, yet is salvation easily achieved, For anyone is free to change his mind, and all his thoughts change with it. So the question I'm asking is, what is one way you have changed your mind since you began your study of the course? So I can't see hands right now, so maybe I can't see people. Okay, thanks. So I'm going to share something on this. So I used to have a very strong belief that I needed to defend myself when I felt I was being attacked, or if I felt somebody else was attacking somebody else. So I'm so grateful that I learned that my safety lies in my defenselessness. And it changed my relationship with my daughter dramatically. The first time I was able to listen to her when she was angry with me, really angry with me, and I was able to listen non-defensively without feeling any need to defend myself, I knew I had experienced a miracle and I just felt calm. That was 100% what I learned from the course. So I'm grateful for it, very grateful. And Peter, you want to comment?
Yeah, so the question was what change of mind do I want to have for 2026? Am I making this up?
Yeah, wait, give me a sec.
Well, let me say this. So the biggest change of mind for me that I've experienced since working with the course, and I still wrestle with this all the time, is the idea that I am cause and not effect.
Mm.
Right? The whole reversal of thought process the course talks about, the atonement, which is a correction of perception. I still think the world is happening to me,
Mm.
like on an hourly basis. The world is happening to me, not through me, not from me. And so that's. I mean, again, talking about a complete reversal of thought, right? So understanding that there is no world outside of me, there is no world apart from me. That again, I'm just quoting the course, but it's an outward picture of an inner condition, whatever I think I see out there. To really live that way, and to and then I guess what goes along with that is the idea that my brothers are innocent.
Mhm.
There's still I notice a proclivity to project guilt out onto other people and find out and point out all the things they've done wrong, so that I can appear right. And so I think those are the two biggest shifts in my perception, the change of mind the course talks about for me.
So I hope it's okay if I comment authentically to you, Peter, because I think what you're saying is absolutely honest. But you also have shown that you believe that you are caused in many ways by a lot of the work that you do, which is so beautiful and meaningful. And so for people who don't know, Peter does a lot of really deep work. He made films, he wrote a book. And so to that degree, you're causing something clearly. Do you think that's fair to say, Peter?
Yeah, thanks, Stephanie. The check is in the mail for that. Thank you.
No, I mean it. It's true.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's part of just taking responsibility for my life, right? And I could say this, a big change that I notice in my life are my relationships. So, I used to have a lot of challenges with certain people in my family and my mom in particular. And now we have a great relationship, and I really attribute a lot of that to the coursework that I've done, taking responsibility for my part in that relationship. I also joke that the roads, highways, and parking lots of New Jersey are a safer place since I started studying the course. Less prone to doing the whole road rage thing and attacking other drivers and all of that. But I have to take responsibility for my perceptions and then what I do
Absolutely.
with that. So
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Peter. So welcome, Dorothy. And I'm going to call on Laura.
Well, what's changed for me this year has been that I've taken the whole year to examine my process, how I use the ideas that come from the course, and to try to stay present and use them on a regular basis. And the biggest change for me this year has been that I've stopped trusting. I don't want to call it my ego because I don't hate my ego. I think my ego is funny and cute sometimes, but I've stopped listening to anything that creates any kind of feeling of conflict or insecurity or a feeling of being unsure about what's going on. And I've been practicing stopping at those points when I begin to experience that. My body is a great tuning fork, and I can understand its vibrations. It has levels of vibrations. And when it vibrates at certain levels, it's a red flag for me to tell me that I'm scared or I'm anxious, or because I walk around in a dream most of the time. I think most of us do. So what's changed for me is that I've become a lot more quiet inside. My head, my usual head chatter has diminished quite a bit in the past year, and I have found that to be absolutely lovely, because I can just live and practice the work, and I get to see the little miracles that happen that I never noticed before. And I actually get to see what is a little miracle rather than what my mind is telling me that I should have Louis Vuittons or something, and that would be a great miracle. But that's not true. So I'm really glad about that. I think it's been a tremendous change for me. It's something I've been looking for all my life, and I hope it continues. And that's thanks to all you guys a lot. I've learned a lot from you folks. Thank you so much.
So, Laura, I think you were very clear. And what I got from what you said was you are working to be present and observant of your thoughts and your feelings in a moment-to-moment way, so that you are living in the now and not just in the past or the future. That's what I got from what you said. Is that?
Well, I think that's the only way we can practice the course ideas. I mean, we get to step into the holy instant more often.
Right.
We wake up a lot faster when we fall asleep for too long.
That's the perfect reference, the holy instant. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So Sharon, you want to comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Laura, you made the statement that you are like kind of walking around in a dream, and that you think that we're all walking around in a dream. And I just thought, yeah, the Course says we're absolutely walking around in a dream. You're right on about that. Anyway.
But I want to say, Sharon, there's a difference between walking around in a dream and not knowing we're walking around in a dream.
Well, that's true.
And walking around in a dream and knowing it. I have a
That's
feeling
right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. We already need to remember we are walking around in a dream.
Right, which makes it, for me, knowing that and being able to see that in others makes it easier to be more loving toward the people around me.
Yeah. Good job, Laura.
Was there anything else you wanted to share, Sharon?
No, that was just it. I just wanted to let Laura know I thought she was right on with that statement.
Thank you,
Anybody
Sharon.
else want to comment at this point on paragraph 2, changing your mind since you began your study? Ardith?
Yeah, just very briefly, it just came across my mind, and I was debating, as I usually do, because I always ask what I have to say, and trying to become more listening closer to know when there's something to be said. So the only thing that came across my mind was that in the last 6 months, I would say, and this is all cumulative from because I've had the course since 1982, and I've really only been really into it though since say 2010, serious, exclusively or pretty much exclusively. But periodically, I would look over the past, and like and rather than pushing things under the rug, taking the things out to explore and to have myself given instruction as to what I'm to do or what I'm to think about something. But something changed over the last 6 months, I'd say. And that is, I did a full life review again, and I had another opportunity through a meditational practice that I did. And it was amazing because I came back with all the different things. I remembered things that I thought I had forgotten so long ago. And when they came up this time, they were all gratitude, 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 gratitude. I don't know, 100, literally. And it gave me such joy. It was a complete reversal of getting lost in the past or projecting out into the future. I realized this is a very comfortable place to be. And if I spend more time in the now, in that moment, that automatically changes my view about things. I see things in a different way. So my world becomes something beautiful. Not every day. I have bad days, like not bad, but you know what I'm talking about. But for the most part, and I think I don't need to do any more life review. I got the feeling that it's done. And maybe it's because I'm old, but I've got whatever comes now will be something that's I'm excited to learn, and I'm happy to share it when I get it. Thank you.
So, Ardith, I want to ask you a question. Is that okay?
Of course, sure.
It sounds to me like gratitude has become more of your natural way of thinking and being. That is
Yeah.
incredibly powerful.
Yeah, I will admit that too, because I also had to reevaluate. Another source for the gratitude was looking back and realizing that through my whole life, I honestly can say, and this is a beautiful confession, when I was honestly given this view, that I have really never hated anybody in my whole life.
Mm.
And times I thought I did, but I didn't. I might have disagreed with them, or they might have tweaked my, give me a pain temporarily, but there was no hatred. And then one thing that gave me a big smile connected with that was, I think I might have mentioned it somewhere. Maybe other people have heard it before. I just saw an interview with Dick Van Dyke, who's turned 100, and they asked him what was his how did he do it? What was the key? And I think he mentioned he didn't sit in anger and he didn't have hatred. And that's a biggie, because I really believe I was fortunate to have two wonderful parents who kind of led the way. And it was natural that I would find the Course in Miracles and then get a verification when I did something like a long look at the life. And I got to say, that is those two things, staying out of hatred and letting go of anger, is such a beautiful thing. It doesn't mean I'm going to live to 100. I could live longer. I don't know. But it's just a much better way to be. I hope that answers your question.
That was beautiful. Thank you. Very inspiring. Last call for comment on paragraph 2, at this time at least. So paragraph 3, the present now remains the only time. In this very moment, this is perfect, Ardith. This is my question, at least. I don't know if it's perfect, but it's perfect in terms of following what you said. So in paragraph 3, the present now remains the only time. My question is, in this very moment, what is one thing you are sure you are grateful for? Andrew?
I'm always grateful for the gift of life every day, every moment.
Wow. Short sentence, but powerful. Thank you. Anyone else want to comment?
Yeah, I'm grateful for this group.
Mm,
I really am. I'm grateful for like minds. I
mm.
I feel like I'm with my tribe when I'm here with all of you. Thanks.
Thanks, Sharon. Sora?
I started posting daily gratitudes on Facebook.
Mm,
So this morning's gratitude was I'm grateful for hot showers, especially first thing in the morning to get rid of all the stiffness from, sleep overnight. But that's why I do daily gratitudes because it's the mundane that is a remembering, and it's that switch in focus from
mhm,
love, from fear to love. If I can, just and staying in a state of gratitude is I'm also finding staying in the now,
mhm,
because there's no past, no future, and it's a good discipline to just
mhm.
what am I grateful for, and it's everything from food, shelter, clothing, and to hot showers like this morning, like okay, I won't get graphic, but it was a good morning.
I'm really glad you mentioned that because one of the things that I also experienced is previous to my working on becoming a better human being and the course and other things I studied, the things that I could get pleasure out of, like I dismissed them, like a warm shower. And now I do anchor those things. Like I'm like grateful. Wow. And I also said I was great yesterday when I took my shower. I said that. I don't know if I said that today. But I think it's wonderful because there are so many things to be grateful for all the time. Really, so that's my perception anyway. So thank you for that. Make it very real world tangible, not real world, illusionary world tangible, seemingly tangible.
It's like you just said, it's that it's as an appreciation.
Hmm.
And we've had this conversation about course students dismissing pleasure,
Mm.
like that's not of God, or it's not holy. But the course says we learn through joy, not through pain.
You know what I just learned this second from what you said? That when we are affirming our gratitude, say for a shower or whatever else, we're connecting and seeing what's outside of us as for us instead of feeling separate.
Hmm. Good
So
point.
I think that matters.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Thank you. Sharon?
Yeah, I don't want to be talking too much, but when uh, the subject of gratitude is big in my life because in 2008 I was the logistics person for a trainer, and the training was 1 day a month for a year, and 1 month one of the assignments was you had to get a partner in the training, and you paired up, and you had to send each other by either email or a text message or call and say it out loud 10 things you were grateful for every morning for the next 30 days until we got together again. And they liked doing that so much that when the training was over, four of those women came to me and said, "Would you facilitate us doing that?" And I said, "Sure." And so we started that in 2008. And one of the members has dropped out. She just got too busy, I think. But the other ones, there's four of us left. And every morning, and once in a while, one of us misses, but we're pretty faithful. And I highly recommend pairing up with someone and sending each other your gratitudes because it helps me remember. what I'm grateful for. And the ego's always there going, oh, look over here, you know?
Well, plus, Sharon, by reading other people's gratitude, it sort of compounds I don't know, compounds is
Yeah.
the right word, but
Yeah.
it increases it.
Reminds you.
And I want to say, if anybody wants to do that, feel free to put something in chat and
Yeah.
we could, work something. I love that idea. I think I'm going to do that. You can't talk too much, Sharon. It's impossible. So that's my opinion. So,
Thanks.
my opinion for whatever that's worth. Artist, what would you like to share?
Your opinion is worth plenty, I got to say. And
Thank
Sharon, she's right. You can never talk too much. So go right ahead. I wasn't going to say this because I still hear the little egoic voice, which is not an entity, but it sounds like one. So and sometimes it will stop me from saying things. It has in the past anyway, less and less all the time. But there were two things that I have to say that I'm so grateful for in my life. And the first one I've already mentioned, my parents. I don't know how I could have. I think back now how wonderful, literally wonderful and loving and kind they were. And I feel so grateful for it. I just do. I think of them often, and they have so much shaped everything that's come to me. So when I met the course, it was just a natural. I met them in the course, actually.
Yeah.
And the other thing, which is this is the one, and I'm going to say it because I think it's important to get this out because I realize I keep it in because I always hear that egoic voice, don't say anything about it. But originally, early on in my life, I wanted to be an actress, and my mother had been in her time. And I got a scholarship to go to a summer theater and to do acting. But a compatriot of mine who I worked with, and we did acting in high school together, like 4 or 5 years, really tight, close, and we had a genuine thing that brought us together. Believe it or not, listening to Judy Garland records. If anybody even knows who Judy Garland was, but and so we just palled around and we did all kinds of things together. And when it came time, and I got this to go to this summer music theater, he did too. And he went to the West Coast to a summer theater out there to a workshop. And he ended up being, I won't say a star, but pretty well featured in many, many movies. And I didn't have anything to do with acting after that. Instead, my whole life was changed. It was completely changed. And many times the people who in my own classes and everything, they said, well, how do you feel? Don't you feel bad that you didn't go out there because maybe it could have been you? And I said, no, I don't. That was his path, and he enjoyed it and he's made the most of it. Mine was completely different. And I think to myself, thank God, literally, that this was a very important moment. And at the time, I had a little qualms about it, but somewhere inside, I knew this is right. And to this day, I'm just very grateful for that change because so many experiences I had later, I probably never would have had them. At least that's what I'm thinking. So, and I got it out. It's the first time that I've mentioned that because I usually then have people saying, oh, who is this person? And what did you do? And I don't want to do that. I will if somebody asks, but that's not the point of it anyway. Thank you.
So I just want to say, Ardith, I am grateful you chose the path you chose.
Thank you. Me too.
So, Bernie?
So with your question, what am I grateful for? And in just pondering this lesson, this lesson, and I just glanced back at the introduction to the workbook. And so what I'm grateful for is the opportunity to choose once again. I think that's a lesson title. And the thing that comes to mind around that is that to choose once again gives us an opportunity. The introduction to the workbook talks about questioning and this is my paraphrasing, but it's the questioning everything we think and everything we think we believe. And in here, and there's a couple places in the course, but even in the first paragraph, it talks about, there's power in our beliefs, there's power in our thoughts, and they can both give us, they can both take us in a direction.
Mhm.
The thing with it is that when we have beliefs, our beliefs our beliefs hold an element of doubt. And so if there's doubt and uncertainty, then they're not really a true thought. And in paragraph 9, it mentions you are as God created you. And other parts of the course, it says that you're created as a thought, not as a belief, but you're created as a thought of God. So when we give ourselves the opportunity to question all the ideas that come into our mind, not being attached to them being beliefs or thoughts, we do settle out into what is true, what is a thought, what we really are. And all of our attachments to what don't matter, what aren't real, settles out. So I am very appreciative, very grateful to be able to have the capacity to examine my thoughts, beliefs, ideas, and free up what doesn't serve and be aligned with what does, and then come to being at a place of peace. And with that, offer the opportunity for others to meet me in that place.
So, Bernie, it sounds like you, in many ways, are agreeing with what Source said in the beginning, and at least that's what I'm getting. And what you brought up for me is that when I have a question about something, and I go to the course with sincerity, with the desire to know, there is always an answer. So I appreciate your comment.
No, but thank you. And I think it was Andrew or Peter that mentioned something about forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
It's the forgiveness that gratitude invites the awareness of God into our mind.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And forgiveness basically opens the door. It allows us to receive the message, the gift that is there for us. So
Beautiful.
believe that.
Thank you. Thank you. Dorothy, I believe you had your hand up, and I just want to say telepathically, I was speaking to you and telling you if you wanted to comment. I wanted to hear what you had to say. So I think you got my message.
Well, thank you. Yeah, this is my first time here, so I don't know if people come and go or if most of you are people who have come for a while, but I just noticed the group on Facebook yesterday because I was looking for a car for my son, and that's how I got here.
Nice.
And I've been connecting with the Foundation for Inner Peace for a while too. Just through the pandemic, I got really much more aware of them and the work that they do, or you do, I don't know. But anyway, what I wanted to say was not exactly a comment, but more a question for Ardith. What happened? Like, why did you, after that summer theater experience, why did you turn your path in a new direction? If it was that clear cut.
I don't know, really. I think there were a combination of factors that came into play. Somebody from the outside would probably say, "Oh, it was all at random," and of course not. I don't believe that a bit. It just certain things just dropped in my path almost after that, and as I followed one, another one, another one, and another one, and I ended up I had so many experiences in my life that I would never have had, I don't think, if I hadn't allowed this to happen. I'm not being evasive about it, but they're just too many. I can't pick on one particular thing, but I think part of it, the most important thing to me was that I was happy for my buddy. I had no feelings of, oh, gee, I should have done that, or why didn't I do that, or what could I have done different? I really didn't. I was kind of like open and happy. And then things just started to pop in front of me. And the more that I accepted them when they felt right to me, one would lead to the other, to the other, to the other. And that's the way it happened. That's the best way I can explain it to you, I think. But thank you for asking. I don't know if that answers your question, but
How old were you?
oh, let's see. Well, I was out of high school, just out of high school, like 18, 19, I guess, something like that. Yeah. And yeah, it was early on, very early on. I had a
So,
lot of time to, at the time, a lot of time to do what was in front of me to do, which I'm very great. I'm so grateful for that, really. Yeah,
so I want to piggyback on what you said, Ardith, if you don't mind,
sure.
because I feel that when I was in my 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, um, as I was going through, I didn't see that there was a pattern, that I was being led, I was being guided. Now, I didn't believe in God at all until I was 25, just a little bit at 25. I thought maybe. And really, I really came into my faith, if you want to put it that way, when I was about 40. But looking back, now it is so clear that I was guided. So, and it looked like something was falling in my lap, or it looked like it wasn't a good thing, and then it turned out to be a good thing, or whatever, it was.
Yeah, if I
So,
can, I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, no, go ahead.
No, you said so, and continue.
Well, I was just going to ask Dorothy if there was anything more she wanted to share.
Yeah, good, good.
Um, well, uh, what you just made me think of was a beautiful workshop that Ken
Mm,
Wapnick did, which is called The Golden Thread of Hope.
mm,
And when he introduces it, he says that he doesn't usually do hopeful workshops, Um, and he said that looking back over our lives, we can find this thread of, well, this led to this and this led to that. And that's how I got here. That's how I found the course. He said, like a lot of people, that's like a pivotal moment in their lives or whatever. So it's beautiful. That's what you're saying also. And it's helped me a lot to see my life in a positive way instead of, like, oh, well, if that hadn't happened, then maybe things would have been better or whatever. But everything that happened did lead me to where I am now. So I guess that's my golden thread of hope.
yeah, I'm really glad you mentioned that. Is that a book?
I don't know if it's a book, but it's definitely a workshop. You can find it on the Foundation
Oh, okay. That sounds
for A Course in Miracles, FACIM. You can find it on there.
okay. Thank you.
Sure.
So I just want to say I'm going to call on Sora, but if there's anybody who hasn't yet commented that would like to, no pressure. But Betty, if you want to comment, but you don't have to.
I want to
Say,
say something and I can't find my picture and I wait
oh,
and I don't know if I should put my hand up.
so Uma, let's let Sora comment and then I'll go right to you. Is that okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so just briefly, to go back to what Bernie said, because he mentioned choose once again. So as a workbook lesson, but you just meant, so I was thinking about that earlier today, that in the text, choose once again is the last section. And I'm always, whenever I come to that section, it's how simple salvation is. That and it says, trials are but lessons that you failed to learn presented once again. So where you made a faulty choice before, you can make a better one and thus escape all pain.
Mm.
And what you chose before has brought to you. So the simplicity of the course. I'm choosing fear, recognize I'm choosing fear right now. Oh, all I have to do is choose again, and I could choose love. Wow. But it takes, like 1,200 pages to realize that. So that's it. That's all I want to say.
I just want to say, I think that's so great because I don't hear or think about that so much. But the truth is, I didn't used to think when I had fear in the past, I didn't used to think that was something I could just choose again, like stop and choose again. Like, wow, how powerful is that? Just that one idea is enough to change a whole life. So thank you for that. And Uma, we are ready, Uma.
The image. Did my camera die?
I
Yes,
think, yeah, but we hear you.
we hear
Well,
you.
no, but here's my camera. Why would my camera die? Oh, how sad. No, it says it's on. Anyhow, I don't know if I said this last week, but I'd been reading. This is about loosing the world. Okay. It's really incredible. I was reading some Gnostic texts with quotes from Jesus and the prophet. And they described the Jesus is listed as describing the world as an excuse me, ugly hag with green eyes and protruding teeth. Okay. Sorry about the sexism, but that's what it said in the book. Jesus, may peace be upon him, is quoted as saying, I marvel how men chase after the world after seeing what it's done to all these other people. And yet, and the other quote was, she is an immoral sorceress who makes you think she's in love with you and that she will always be there, but she's slipping away moment by moment. And then she leaves you for your enemies, leaves you dashed and broken. Okay, this is the world. This is their descriptions of the world, which I would very much like to loose and leave behind. Now, the Buddhists and the Course and other groups often have a thing where they say all the problems are one problem. The Buddhists say all blame is rolled into one. There's only one blame, just like there's only one problem. We have the solution. It's separation. So it's really great. So here I am with there's only one thing to do: let go of the immoral sorceress and hang out with Christ. And I can't tell you the level of the trial, the horrid, most hideous trial is up in my emotions, and there it is. And I'm up all night crying about it, and then I go, I think I'd rather have Jesus. The whole thing disappears, and I'm at
Yay.
peace.
What was the last sentence you said, Uma? I missed it.
And the whole thing turns into peace. The moment I choose that I prefer Christ
Hmm.
to the story the world is showing me,
Hmm.
Yeah.
and I just immediately, so this is my whole Christmas week is choosing the Christ over the world in all instances. Thank you.
So, Uma, this
Yay,
is
Uma.
this is what came to me as you spoke, that the clarity between what is real and not real is critical for happiness and for freedom. So
Hmm.
I appreciate it. I hear you. So we have come to the end of our meeting, and I'm going to close with the same prayer I started with because I love it. And this is lesson 275. God's healing voice protects all things today. And I feel the way people spoke, a lot of it was just God's healing voice. Your healing voice protects all things today, and so I leave all things to you. I need be anxious over nothing, for your voice will tell me what to do and where to go, to whom to speak and what to say to him, what thoughts to think, what words to give the world. The safety that I bring is given me, Father. Your voice protects all things through me. And I just want to say I'm so grateful for everybody who came today and joined in this loving experience. I thank you and Happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Where's that?